Hello and welcome to Dungeon Defenders. I'm actually not here to let's play it strictly, but I've been messing around with it a lot lately, so I thought I'd do a review. They just came out with the new Summoner class, which is, in a word, completely and utterly OP. It's not even a debatable point. It's just a matter of how overpowered is it. See, normally when you play this game, I'll switch to a normal character here. This is a squire I've been working on for just purpose of building towers, and he actually needs to get leveled up some. Yeah, that thing there, that cost, I believe it's 5 defensive units. It's just their term for what your tower cap is, for those not familiar, but most people watching this review, I'm going to guess, are familiar. But anyway, towers cost defensive units. Let's just sell that up there. The Summoner, however, his summoned minions, of which he has 6 different types. You start out with the Archer, and you kind of unlock them in this spiral as you level up. They behave exactly like the monster types that you have seen in the game, with the exception that the mage does not summon skeletons, at least not that I've seen. In any case, also, for some reason, he summons exceptionally slowly during active time periods, as it were, and quickly during the build phase only. You see in the bottom left corner there, how it says 4 out of 100? That is summoning units. Those are a completely separate cap from the normal dungeon units, or defense units. As a result, this means you can effectively double the amount of firepower on any existing map. Which is where I say it's inarguable that he's overpowered, it's just, how much is he overpowered? As for actually showing you things in action, well, let's go to the map. Well, a map anyway. That would be a good way to... We're going to try the Alchemy Lab. I actually haven't done that much with the Summoner. I've been leveling him to 74 to get him properly geared. But hey, let's try out. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'm probably not going to go all the way to the end, or this would be a very long review, but I can certainly show you what the Summoner does and how he does it. Firstly, a lot of you have probably heard about Overlord mode, so we're just going to go into that, because I can do it here. He is now in Overlord mode. He can select things like a real-time strategy game. These guys are summoned just like towers, obviously, except there's more than the normal number of types of them. The aiming just determines their initial facing. They will actually look around and choose any angle they particularly want. I'm actually just going to stay in Overlord mode for the duration of this map. Or duration of the review. Well, not for the entire review, I suppose. Yeah, I am currently non-existent. gonna need to gather mana. I'm not 100% sure how his ability to gather mana in Overlord works. I've heard he somehow is supposed to do it, but I don't get it, if that makes sense. You see, he summons very quickly during the build phase, but very slowly when not in the build phase. Things are probably going to get to him, and... nope. All of his minions seem actually quite useful. Especially, like... I'm surprised at how well the archers hold up. In terms of long-term, like, if you're using them to supplement existing defenses, I think the real money is going to be in the mages, just because they can... well, they'll heal you, heal each other, and throw AoE fireballs. But for playing on his own, the summoner actually has quite a variety of things. You may have noticed the ogre in the middle, being that he costs 600, he is... well, he's obviously as effective as an ogre would be. The summoner has no attack. However, he can use 2 pets, as you've noticed. Just currently using 2 giraffe on a treadmill, though you could theoretically get turrety deaths and... the thing I don't like about him is how you have to effectively... why can't I select the orc? I have to go into Overlord mode to select the orc. Finally, I got the orc. He's still a bit buggy, clearly, as you can see. With that selecting the orc thing there. And I'm sure there will be a lot of tweaking done. Though they probably won't actually change the summoning units thing. I'm hoping that it's going to be more of an indication of the game's evolution, if that makes sense. Let's get mage in here. Probably start summoning more things, too. That's what you all want to see, so let's bring out the big guy. Looks like we're actually going to go long enough to hit the boss, so... Bomb. There's an achievement for beating all campaign maps in only Overlord mode, which makes me wonder how mana collection works with that. It might well not, and that's part of the challenge, so... The warriors are interesting glass cannons. They have a tendency to be idiotic. That bugger kobold. Looks like we're going to lose this wave because I didn't summon enough stuff initially. Part of the problem is that these guys are not as aggressive as they really ought to be in some modes, and they're overly aggressive in others. Like hold offensive, these guys will just kind of wander all over the place. The biggest command is the user interface for this, though, because to do most of the commands, I have to shift into the little circle ring menu, and it's just awkward. I know that may sound like a minor gripe, but these can be upgraded like any tower, and they will benefit from most buffs like any tower. Guardian pets seem to want to try and buff them, but aren't terribly sure how. Get another mage down here. Spamming ogres will most certainly not win you anything. It will, however, be amusing. They can also walk through defenses if they feel so inclined, but they won't be summoned on top of defenses. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure how things are supposed to work, but it works well enough for now. Let's get another spider in here. I can put them. It's a lot easier to issue commands in Overlord mode just because it's a whole lot easier to select the various units in Overlord mode. Hold offensive basically tells them that you can mouse over it. It tells them to, well, it gives them a larger range of attack. I'm sorry for all the stuttering people trying to actually gain information out of this. The orc there is on hold defensive, the default for any... Cobalt. He's on hold defensive, which is the default for anything. I can just go down the commands now, then. Here's a good finisher of my stuttering fail review. I'll summon up a warrior as demonstration. I wish you would summon more quickly in the tavern. That's probably something they're going to fix, because I can understand from a coding stance why it is. The build phase is not what you're in during the tavern, as it were. So he uses his combat phase summoning. You know, Warrior Bee is exactly like the warriors you know and love, suicidally jumping at anything he sees. Or standing there uselessly when in defensive mode, unless he's, you know. I think his slash is AoE, which would make him a decent point holder, but he's quite squishy. Anyway, the commands. We can not issue... Oh yeah, we don't have anything selected. Brilliant. We have attack target, which... behaves a bit oddly. It tells him to attack the thing you happen to have your cursor focused on at the moment. Just look at him acting like a Dark Elf warrior there. Let's get something else in here. summoning things. Slowly summoning things. You see, that's the problem with non-Overlord mode, is all you can do is select more things. You have to manually deselect all. Now here I'm going to tell him to tell the mage to follow the target, which is the Dark Elf Warrior. Select everything, and tell the Dark Elf Warrior to go back over here and attack the target. He will get stuck on a small ledge. Come on, be put. Okay, fine. Attack this target. No, he's not following as much as I thought he would. Let's see if I can change gear to something that will raise health so I can show off the... This is an increased tower count. And they're just derping about. See what I said when things are a bit buggy yet? Brown is real. Did you just say Brown is real? Or was that the Tavern Keeper and I've just never noticed him say that before? The mages do heal things, I swear! You can also tell them to just follow you. He is being told to follow the Blade Master, who is being told to follow me, so he will just kind of form a second rank while attempting to not be a confused idiot. And for every other... What is he doing now? Haha! I found a target dummy! I am the greatest mage ever. Yeah, those fireballs of his are slight AoE, so I think that he's a great supplemental defense, though a group of archers can also cover a wide variety, as, well, much like a magic missile turret would. It's pretty analogous to the Apprentice Towers, now that I think about it. Except they move, and are derpy. And these spider minions will take forever to summon because this is the tavern. But anyway. You see, they web things up, just like the guys you have come to know and love do. It has the same effect, too. It makes things slightly more vulnerable, but the spiders are the squishiest thing by far. Let's see if this will bait the Dark Elf, or if he's too combat crazed. No, he's just lost. He is. Oh yes. Also, they have the hovering thing. They can go around for like 15 seconds. Makes this cool hovering noise. And lastly, he has an AoE heal. I don't know how good it is in the grand scheme of things because I haven't really got many points in it. But it will work on defensive turrets as well as his own minions, so it's interesting. But anyway, that concludes my absolutely horrible review of the Summoner class for Dungeon Defenders. I do have to say he's got the best use of the accessories by far, aside from that weird clipping thing with the bracers, but great mask and feather use. And you don't really notice the bracers unless you're looking right at it. He himself appears to be made of crystal. It is currently $3.99 on Steam. There's speculation it will go on sale, but I'm having fun with it as is and don't feel ripped off, so such is life. Now let me figure out how to actually turn the recording off, and we will see you all next time I get around to uploading something.